separated from the hotels. So we actually just opened the restaurants now with the hotel, but several restaurants in town are already open since 15th of May.
Okay.
And yeah, probably an experience from them. So from my partners there, they get a lot of support from locals right now. So you can see there's a lot of loyalty right now. People, especially locals at the start where no tourists were able to come, still went to the restaurants and like supported them, going out like pretty much every day, or at least the weekends where the restaurants are open. And especially our gastronomy seemed actually pretty happy with the start again. So yeah.
Okay, maybe later on you can let us know whether you did some changes in the concept itself. Let's say what you changed regarding, for example, breakfast buffet and all this. I would like now to continue with this time frame, because right now really in Spain, many owners they are going exactly through what you go through now, because on 1st of July, the airlines, or we were allowing to come back, our flights will enter, and so let us know a little bit. Okay, when you opened, what were the procedures and how was the reception also from the people? How was that? How you handled that? Also the requests, what people were inquiring, also first what they asked for example.
Yeah. So actually the time when we were open, we still had we still need to have like face mask for service and all of this stuff. So we still have a lot of regulations. And also in the past weeks, regulations were like changing weekly. So it was a process to always adapt. The good thing is that we get more free, we are allowed to decide certain things really depending on the hotel, because every hotel, every restaurant is different. So we can really adapt now really good. What we experienced a lot, especially when it comes to guests, that the weeks just before the reopening, it was more important than ever to have phone contact. So we tried to have our receptionists here as much as possible, because we could experience that people just want the personal talking to people, especially about questions regarding safety, regarding wellness, regarding buffets, regarding food. Yeah, so it was a lot about phone contact. We also, what we did, we prepared special landing pages for people.
I saw your website work, and later I will tell you. That's super nice.
Okay, you probably haven't even seen the newest part, but yeah. So we put together like the most common questions guests were asking. Receptionist wrote me down, and I built the landing page for guests, which we send out with every offer we send to guests, where the most common questions are answered, and also people are allowed to put in new questions. And we save all of them, and the most common we always put on the landing pages. What we experience now as well is that a few weeks later now, people start to act pretty normal when booking. So they have already quite a lot of knowledge how everything works here, especially regarding to safety, to buffets. So the phone contact gets less now. It's really special here in Austria, especially Austrian people. We have more direct bookings than ever. So people are instantly booking on the homepage, which in the previous years were always like sending offers here and then. But right now, like the direct booking process is high demand because people have a lot of information already during the last weeks. Yeah. The most common questions definitely are here still about wellness. So about saunas, spa areas, exactly. Massage. Also regarding buffets. And here it is like most of the hotels have their own concept now for buffets. What we
in general, they are not allowed.
We are no, we are allowed to have buffets. Yeah.
Okay.
You have two rules. You either have a disinfection stand beside it, so every customer can go and wipe their hands before they use anything, or you have your staff there where the guests just tell them what they want, and you put it on a plate for the customer.
Like served.
Exactly. So how we do it, we have set tables for the guests at breakfast, sure at the restaurant and dinner as well. Our staff goes with the guests to the breakfast table, then brings them coffee, brings them drinks, juices, etc. But tells them to please wait until they go to the buffet, because the staff always has a look how many people are on the buffet. If there's enough of free space, if it's controllable, they go to the customer, to the guest, tell them, okay, you can go with us to the buffet, and they go with the customer to the buffet. Ask them if they want to take the breakfast by themselves, or if they should put it on plates for him. Also, the guest right now can tell on the table, no, can you please bring me this, and this? I don't want to go to the buffet. So we offer three kinds of it, because customers are different. There are customers who just definitely want to go to the buffet. Others are fine when they get it served. So we are quite flexible there. Let's say.
Okay,
like this, yeah.
Good point that I like that you say that even in times of hygiene concepts and all these restrictions, we have to still keep in mind that our guests are individual different, that they are all have okay.
Exactly.
So have you also have you added another concept, let's say delivery? Have you you are also you have big packages of activities, no? And how do you handle that?
Packages, especially sporty types, they are outdoors, so it's actually pretty simple to handle. It's like it has always been. Sure, you remind the customer. So we have guest informations where you also have certain information, especially how they are allowed to use the cable cars to go on the mountains. So they know before they go there that just family members are allowed to be within one gondola, or they have the mask on.
Okay.
Same is for for bike rentals. Right now, you're actually now allowed to go in shops without masks. A week ago, you still had to wear the mask. So we had on the information papers or like folder for the people, for the guests. When they come, you have everything in there which they need to care about.
Is there
also,
a limitation of numbers of people in a group? Let's say activities you can accept. This would be interesting also for Martin, that he has also this group activity concepts that you say okay, up to 15 people or 20 or.
We have no regulations for that anymore. Still, I think it's not only about regulations. I think it's about having, keeping in mind that safety and free space is really important. So we will definitely still keep small groups and just offer them things where people are together, which anyway travel together. So we don't risk anything. We go for safety first right now. And also you can see that's really what the customer is searching for. From the start point, when they enter the hotel, as much as they, the more they see how carefully planned you have the process of a holiday, the safer they feel and the more they enjoy their holiday. And that's what it is about.
In your hotel, do you have someone that is specifically in charge of all this hygiene? Let's say that you say this person is checking all the processes, is checking all.
Yeah.
Have you?
In that kind, it's me. So we had we had employee workshops before we reopened with all separate parts of the hotel. So like the whole breakfast team, the whole cleaning team, the whole reception team, the whole restaurant team. We went with every part of our hotel through all of the processes. and I'm the one who's checking it.
Do you have a swimming pool around?
Yes,
yeah.
yes. We have an outdoor swimming pool. Actually, for this, we have a regulation. We are it's per 4 square meters, 1 person. So in our pool, there's, for example, we're just allowed to have 8 people in the pool at the same time. But yeah.
You said per square meter?
Per 4 square meters.
Yeah, 4 square meters is 1 person.
One person.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's same we have actually in the indoor wellness area. It's per 10 square meters, 1 person for the indoor wellness areas. Yeah.
So it's 1 in, 1 out, or how do you give them time slots to get in and out? How to get around that in a friendly way?
So actually, we haven't came to that problem. We didn't come to that problem because really right now you can feel that people want to be outside. So our indoor wellness area is barely used. The outdoor area with the pool and everything has a lot of free space. We've got signs everywhere that people know that just a number of people is allowed to be in there. But I think, and it works really good actually here, you should also, people need to be careful by themselves. And they need to look after them as well. So when they check in is when so that's why we have the guest information, what they need to be careful about as well. And that's where you remind the customer to be careful for their own personal health as well. And it works. So we don't need to tell customers, hey, yeah, there's too much people in there right now. So it works pretty good.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
If I may, Matthias, if I may ask, in the beginning you were talking about how people were so, wanting to have that personal, phone contact. Do you feel, and now it changed, you saw the guest attitude changing. Do you think as we go forward that people will be more reluctant to have personal contact, or do you think people are going to be fed up that it's going to be all touchless and faceless? And what is your perception as we move forward? Because I hear different things. Some people say, experts say, no, it's going to be more and more touchless, more and more technology, more and more digital, less face-to-face interaction, while others say people are kind of, been locked down so much already, they desperate for the human connection. What do you think? What is your perception as you have already opened up your hotel?
Yeah, so here it's definitely that people search their personal contact more than ever. And it's more important than ever, definitely, especially if they're here as well. So they're talking a lot more about their feelings, about their experience during the lockdown time. The only way it changed with the personal contact is the booking process. But especially when they arrive, you can feel how happy people are to talk to others and share experiences. So personal contact, more important than ever. And I think it will stay like this for a certain time now. I'm really sure.
So how are you going to balance that with? Sorry, Peggy.
No.
How are you going to balance that with, distance and so to find the right balance right in this? How do you think you will do that? How will you manage that? Because there's also certain regulations and protocols that you have to respect, right? Or
definitely. So right now our staff still needs to wear shields. So especially our staff is safe.
Matthias, just sorry. For example, you went, you took the shields. It's like, okay, yes. I was yesterday in a restaurant actually on a business lunch, and I found it really tiring or exhausting for both of us, because he had to wear the mask and we not. And so he was also, the waiter was trying to conversate with us, and with the mask, it's really difficult. So you would recommend rather the shield instead of the mask, because then you can see.
Shield works 100% better. It's like also that the waiters feel very comfortable after a few minutes already. They don't really realize it anymore.
Mm.
The only thing is, if you wear it for 2 hours, you get a little bit dizzy because it's bent. But you can, but it's really like all the people I talk and all the service staff, they feel way more comfortable with the shield, and especially for the customers. You see the waiters laughing, you see them talking. It's still human, and people got really used to the shields here, so they don't really care about them anymore. We would be allowed to work totally normal from 1st of July on, so not even shields anymore, but we don't do it. In our hotel, because I say safety first again. Yes.
Good point.
I think, the staff also needs to be careful about their heels, and this shield doesn't really, I don't know, it's not bad. You can work totally normal. Also probably back to the question about the distance and regulations like this. What we did is we are right now just allowing to be 50% of our rooms booked. That means a little bit more, about 60% total capacity. In this kind, we can offer a lot of space to the customer. We can really have more staff for the process we use. And how we do it is that we don't lower our price. We actually show the customer that free space is worth something, and it works amazing in the marketing. I can just tell you. So we see, especially in the better hoteleries or from 4 stars on, we see that guests are not talking really about the price right now. We don't have anybody calling, hey, that's a little bit too much. Can I have it cheaper? We don't have that at all. I hear it from owners from apartments and lower price classes. I hear it different, but in our price class, people are, it's more important that they have free space than that they pay less. Yeah.
I saw also on your website, you have like prices. You are not going, let's say, super in these let's say dumping and sales and offer and
not at all. Actually, the customer needs to know, you need to explain to the customer already at the website, at the offers you do, that you do more for this price. That's why the price is high, but you offer the customer a lot of safety and a kind of free holiday, because he has like double the amount of space than normal, and it seems to work really great. Our numbers are actually really good, increased really good in the past 3 weeks. It started first of all with the Austrian guests, but since Germany and the near border countries, their media is also talking a lot about Austria right now, because we have Austria did a lot of marketing in other countries right now about the regulations and how we are using it. And that works really good, and especially now from Germany and also Czech Republic, we get a lot of bookings, and our numbers are in July are already on 70% than last year. So I'm confident that we will have the same amount of guests than last year right now.
So Matthias, you believe in what they talk a lot about in industry of the so-called pent-up demand, right? That people were shut down for so long time, so now they're kind of, well, almost desperate to travel, while others say no, people will not travel because of fear, because of less finances. But you don't see it, right? You see that
people are definitely, they want to go on holiday if they have time to go. I mean, sure, I think it's a lot about depending on the hotel category, especially in the upper class hotels. It's definitely working really good because people have the money to go on holiday. What we also see is that people, if they can, they take longer holidays right now.
Interesting.
So they give themselves more time. And a really interesting thing as well is that they're way more friendly to our staff.
That's good.
Really, it's amazing, and they see the staff different than before. They see staff like they are doing their job, so we can go on holiday. You know what I mean?
The thing is, the thing is that I think this is a phenomenon that we have in our society in general, because since we are going through this corona crisis, we have something all in common. We all share the same, let's say, experience, and this brings us on a people level very much closer together, because yes. I know that one or you go through the same phase right now, a situation like me, and so in a way, yeah. Yes, we are closer together, and in another way, we are also, I think, more sensitive and more fragile on the other side, let's say. Easy also to be, I don't want to say the word aggressive, but a little bit like sensitive. It's a better word. Matthias, what I would like to use you now a little bit for all the other hoteliers to look. I liked a lot your open communication on the website. You put on an extra page that you called it, we take care of you. Wir passen auf euch auf. We take care of you. And here you put all the information that are needed for the guest. And this is what many hoteliers, they're missing. They're lacking this communication. Everything that happens behind the scenes, it's invisible for the customer, and so there is no connection in the first place. So tell me a little bit about this process, how you got the idea, who is participating, who is also putting all the information, how do you integrate your team on this, and how do you get the feedback of guests?
Yeah, so first of all, I sat down with all parts of the hotel, so with all teams, and we structured the process how we deal with all the regulations this summer, and we wrote it down, and I'm the one putting all of the information together, and I write it as explanations for the customer, and we use it especially in the pre-sale, pre-booking process, because you can see that the customers, they want to know as much as possible before they book. Yeah, so we have it really structured on the website, and as I told you, so we are even going more into detail with all of the questions or now, which we send out with the offers. What we want to achieve is that the customer, before he books or before he comes for a holiday, knows pretty much all of the processes. So he does not need to think about it anymore when he arrives. Which means we also in the pre-stay emails, we have again the links to all the information, so the customer, when they are on the journey here with their car or whatever, they can look it up again.
So you immediately you are connect all this information while they are gathering all the information, let's say, in order to book.
Exactly, implementing it everywhere. We also have everywhere around in the hotel, we've got QR codes placed. So if people just point their camera on it and can look up, for example, the regulations now for the breakfast again. We are using actually QR codes more than ever, also for hiking cards, for biking tours, for a lot of information. So links to our, it's called Summer Card app, where you have like, you have a certain card here in our region, which you get at when you stay in a hotel. You can use the gondolas, you can use certain certain adventures and stuff. So we use QR codes a lot. What we can feel is that what is really important, that the customer enjoys his stay, and the more he knows up front, the more he enjoys the stay, and the better actually all of the processes work, because the customers come here and know already how the breakfast works or how the wellness works, and
I find it essential, very essential, and I think a lot of hoteliers or even other companies, not only hotels, also any kind of company that has a service component, should open up in communication also. in all the channels.
Matthias, have you had any strategy regarding the visibility of cleaning? Like you have McDonald's, for instance, who always, even though it's not dirty, they clean because they want to have this image of they are always cleaning. So the staff has nothing to do, clean. And either you could clean when the guests are not there, or you could actually clean when they are there, so they can see these guys are taking it seriously. Have you had any thoughts to that?
We are exactly doing that now as well. Normally we clean the areas when there's no guests there, but now we intentionally let cleaning staff in that people see it. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good story, and it's also a nice contact, and it's people will accept it. It's not a bothering, so it's another way to bundle with the staff. And again, also raise the perception of what staff is, right? We are there for you.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of those small processes. I give you another example. We've got a sterilizing box, a small box you actually buy for nail polish and stuff like that, or for phones. You can get it for 70 euros. When the guest arrives, so we've got room cards. When the guest arrives, he comes to the check-in, the receptionist, first of all, takes the room cards for the guest, puts it in the box, presses the button, the box says starting sterilization. It takes 59 seconds. The receptionist talks to the people, gives them some information to fill out, tells them about the hotel, blah, blah, blah. The box says sterilization done. Receptionist puts the cards out and gives it on a plate to the customer. It's the first,
I love it. I love it.
It's a
great idea.
It's just something in the mind, and the customer sees from this first contact point on, they take care, they have something in mind, how they really make our holiday safe. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Also, regarding your hotels in the area, do you see, let's say that you are also in your touristic community, how is the exchange on things like that? What can...
Yeah, so we have a hotel group where all of the family hotels from our town are together. We have a WhatsApp group, and we constantly help each other with that. For example, I'm doing a lot in the technology part, so with QR codes and all of that stuff, I give this to the others as well. So the QR codes which go to the hiking cards and all of these, I send it to them via email so they can just print it out and use it for themselves as well. So we're definitely helping together here. Also, what was quite important for me was we opened like 2 weeks later than some of my friends' hotels. So we could already ask them, hey, where did you find some problems? And made our process a lot easier.
Because also the fact is also, let's say, for example, as a community, we also have to work very much close together, because let's say if one has a problem, let's say, and generates a lot of infection, everybody else is damaged. Let's say we see that now in Germany and in other places where you have a high spot of infection, and then so you want to avoid that. And also it gives for the tourists a good image. Let's say in this area people are all over careful. I think this is also a point that we can adapt very well here in Spain, especially now that we are reopened, and here on the coast, everywhere, also on the islands, to gather a little bit the information and don't be, let's say, shy on this, no? Don't you agree?
Yeah. Sharing, right? I think it's also what you said earlier. I think people are also, we'll become more sensitive anyway, and we're all in this together. So I think also as hoteliers have to realize that we're in this together too. So instead of seeing each other as competitors, we're also in the same team in a way, right? So you're totally right. Yeah.
Matthias, you wanted to add something else?
It's something we experience with the bookings here as well, which could be of interest. But it's probably also because so Austrians anyway in the past already tend to book direct, so not so much over platforms. But we see a high increase also from Germany and other countries in direct booking. So we get really just a really small percentage right now of platform bookings. People, I think they are more careful. They want to know more about the hotel than just the standardized detail page they get on the, for example, booking.com platform. So it's more important than ever right now is exactly your own hotel marketing, and your website is more important than ever right now. So yeah.
Have you adjusted a lot on your cancellation policies? Have you?
Yeah, so we are down to 5 days now, so people can cancel free 5 days before, and we put something in place which is actually also just a marketing tool. It's called money back guarantee. Actually, you know, if you can't go there on holiday because the border is closed, you need to get your money back anyway. But a lot of people don't, I don't know, in the communication, don't really don't feel safe that they get their money back. So we just call it money back guarantee and say, okay, people, if borders are closed, if you're not allowed to travel here, or if, I don't know, our region is closed, blah, blah, we guarantee you 100% that you get your money back.
Yeah, this is super good.
Easy.
No? Yeah, also now that we are unsure whether we have to face also fall or in second wave, I don't want to say that, but you know, all these like uncertainty that is around. It's good.
What all of you probably will experience as well, especially at the start of the reopening, people are really booking how you call it, on short term.
Last minute,
increasing a lot. Especially you could, I can tell you, about 10 days before we reopened, our capacity was down at about 20%. 4 days before we opened, 40%. On the day of opening, 60%. So you can see, and also to other hoteliers, what I talk to, you have what we haven't had in the past years. People are just coming in. They are just coming to the reception. Oh, you will have a room for us. You know what I mean? Because they expect that the hotels still have free rooms. Yeah. So also about I don't know. I say just because you're opening in 2 weeks and your hotel is not as good booked, it can change a lot in the last 10 days, and yeah, it will probably change again the longer it's normal and hotels are open, but right now it's really last minute. Yeah, you can do
and in terms of, let's say, rotating the rooms and all that, you have one room free and then you give the other one, and then after checkout you have a 24 hours, let's say, pause, or like the process, and this is also communicated to
exactly. So after every stay we keep the room free for at least 24 hours. It's another thing we just use in communication to show the people how safe we we try to make the holiday.
And in general, that you are also involved in your event activities, and of course this is all. How is the situation there? And the hotel is in Zell am See, where
in Kaprun, but Zell am See is just next to it.
I mean, in this area.
Yeah, events are really complicated right now. Here in the region, we have a lot of big sports events like Ironman, where there's like 1,500 people joining the Ironman per day, and so many guests coming with it. And they are trying to adapt their concept right now. It would be on end of August, and it seems that it will be done. But you can see that also the government, the regulations from the government for events, it doesn't fit for all of the events. So it's really hard for them to decide whether they should do it or not. They are actually right now also scared that if you have because for Ironman, people come from all over the world. And then if there would be a small outbreak again, that the image of Ironman would be damaged, which I can totally understand. I by myself think that because it's end of August for this event, Until this time, there will already have happened a lot of events, and there will probably be events where there's like a small outbreak, and then also image-wise, it wouldn't be such a hard thing. Anyway, most of our events, where a lot of people attend, are cancelled or moved to autumn. Yeah. So our region really goes like us, safety first. We don't want to have a big outbreak here in our region. It's not good for our image, and it's probably also would not be professional to risk things right now. Yeah.
I think what I take from you is that this attitude also from everyone to see really to do things, let's say to reopen, but to still be with precaution. This is what we need to do. We cannot just let it go. And let's say I saw pictures from beaches and from in these days in the world that it's not like this. This is what you are in Austria, not right now. You have learned probably also. You had a big outbreak in the winter season, so this is a big experience also, no? Do you think it has influenced also a little bit the
definitely
measurements?
Definitely. I also need to say one thing. There's a lot of hotels which go in the same directions than us. There's also other hotels which seem to not really care about it. I think right now you can really show professionality. You can show how professional your hotel works when you take care about your guests. And I think reviews will be a big thing in the upcoming weeks, which also will be a deciding point for customers. Think about it. If a guest stays at your hotel and after the stay, he reviews you and on Google or whatever, and says, hey, they are really on point. We felt so safe. It was an amazing holiday. They took care of us as much as they can, and it was amazing for us. People will read that and will go to that hotel because they feel safe. So, and on other sides, if you have some hotels where people write in the reviews, they didn't have a plan, staff is running around without structure, you probably won't get that booking if somebody reads that review. So that's why I think being professional right now is definitely the way to go.
Would you like to add something, Martin?
Oh, I just like that Matthias so upfront, not hiding anything, and even that you're a bit behind the newest law, in the sense that even though you can't open up, you have to wear a mask, you still want to say, listen, it's you, Mr. or Mrs. Guest, who's most important to us, and that's why we continue with the mask, we continue with the distance and so forth. I think it's very inspiring. I also have afterwards to check your website to see how you're communicating this, because it's very inspiring, Matthias. I have to say that.
Cool. Happy to share that.
What I also really would like to underline, and this is also my opinion, also as a consultant. Let's say that the guests wants also, let's say, to see that during lockdown something happened behind closed doors. You know, it is not now that what I have experienced now in the last weeks that I was out also, that you go in places and they just continued where they stopped in March. And they believe they can open up the doors and say, okay, here we are again, same menu, same everything the same. And this is, from a customer perspective, you say, no, because we are right now in one of the biggest changing periods ever, or that I at least, I have been also at 9/11 in New York on downtown, but you know, it's like, it's big what we are going through right now. And I think as as a company owner, as an entrepreneur, you have to show this to the guest, what you do, that you go with the wave of innovation, that you go with the wave of society, what we all go through, and you have to have the courage to take it out, I think. And and many of the entrepreneurs or owners, they are kind of still hesitating. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to start. And, but important, I think it is to little by little also, step by step, launching concepts and go into communication with the guests.
Matthias, may I ask you something? I'm involved in the opening of a new hotel after the summer. Of course, it's kind of like what you did, of course, it was like an opening again, but of course you had already an existing structure, an existing, staff and certain things. Of course, as I am still in a new environment, like it's a white canvas, like a painting that still has to be painted. Can you give me perhaps some additional, besides what you already told me, perhaps some insights or recommendations, as you said, well, hey, if you can start from, if you could start from scratch without the certain thing, that there was no things imposed to you in terms of people or structure or whatever, because that's kind of my situation. What can you recommend me, or tips or ways to think? What would you tell me?
First of all, regarding buffets, I think like having glass over everything and have them, placed as safe as possible. I think having more space for buffets is a big plus point right now. Also because you can have the distance between the guests, and especially with rooms, the design is always important, but design which is hard to clean is right now really hard for your staff. And I think a lot of things like this will stay in the future, so we will need to be way more careful about hygiene, and therefore I would definitely plan some of our designs different. So that's probably the biggest thing. Can I ask you, is it a city hotel or
it's a city hotel? Yeah, it's in Barcelona. Yeah,
city hotel. Yeah, but then definitely something to think about is also like hallways, tight, big. I think the more room, the better everywhere right now.
In order for people to,
of course, to pass, right?
But that's probably things which can stay. And like for example, we found a pretty cool solution for the glass in front of the reception. I even think it looks really stylish. Right? We were lucky it fits our reception. But think about that, to have the have a possibility to just mount that easy when you need it, or to have at least a small one, which is probably just 20 centimeters high in the future as well.
We had in the previous conversations, we had this topic when it was about do we select a really good quality of all these let's say and materials and members. They were saying not the best, because they don't want to also agree on that we have to live this, that this is the new normality, that we also want to come back eventually, let's say as soon as we have medical, let's say vacunas, that we can
sure, but
do it without.
I would need to send you a photo, but like how we solved it, in my opinion, it looks amazing. It's like part of the style right now, and I don't mind if I need to leave it there for forever. If it's like that, it is like that. I'm still like, I'm a fan, definitely. If we can go back to normality, definitely willing to do that. But if not, find a way to make it look cool. Also, I don't know what we always in the past, we always had like funny quote stands everywhere around, like the hotel, on the breakfast tables and everywhere. Right now we changed it to inspiring and motivation quotes, so to give people the right mindset in their holiday, and to give them a good attitude. Yeah.
Could you give some examples, Matthias, on it?
Boy, I can send it through actually.
Yeah.
If you want to, Peggy. I send it through, like all the quotes. Like I have like, I searched out, it's about 200 ones, and I chose like 10 of them.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's a good point. Let's say this is like really, I say, you know, when we were always saying receiving our guests like royalty, no, with our lobbies, and you know, William, that you know, coming in and with this nice flower bouquet and all these, like this royal reception of the guest. And I think we have to, in a way, switch it to carrying the guests. Let's say catching them in terms of sentimental wise, and you know, a little bit this closeness has to be reached. And this is what this change, this adaptation does, because it gets me when I see a motivational, inspirational quote much more than a funny one, or let's say, because it talks about feelings and emotions, and I like it. Also that you really thought about it, because these are these soft measures, you know, these little soft activities, but they have also their effect, you know.
They definitely have impact. Yeah. I have here in the region, the boss of our tourism association. He was always a big inspiration for me, and so we have our tourism board meetings once a month, and he told us all, it's more important to have the right people around you than ever. There's people right now in this crisis which were already probably just before always were negative and always tell, the next year is not good and the winter was not good and blah blah. Those people probably will have even more problems right now because they don't take their head up anymore. People who think positive and to see problems as chances are the ones you need to go right now. Positive thinking is the way to go. If you're lying heads down on the floor, it doesn't help to think, I'm down. You need to think, how do I stand up, or think about something positive? And it's definitely the people you have around you which influence you in that way.
Good point.
This is good also to know, also to spread this word here in Spain, because of course, with our situation here in Spain, we are facing one of the toughest summer due to the fact that the air business is really limited. Let's say if I look up these days, I think I am dreaming. It's like there's no plane, or when there is one plane, I'm like, a plane. It's, you know, and before you had patterns on the sky, you know, with all these now. But let's say there's always a way out, and you know, stand still is not an option. And also for people like here and in Italy and in Germany, everywhere. And I think this is the message.
There's also, Peggy, there's also a tradition here in Spain to kind of agree on how bad things are. I mean, I say, how are you doing? Pues, and then they say, look, that means that's just what it is. No, it's what you make it, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, this is.
So did you do something in terms of stimulating or motivating your team? Because perhaps some of your employees were kind of reluctant to start working again. I don't know, or not at all, or afraid of also catching, the virus. Or did you have to do anything? And if so, what did you do, or in order to have a positive mindset, right? As you just said, in your hotels.
Yeah. So during the whole lockdown time and no work time, we have WhatsApp groups in place where we actually just share funny things, motivational things all the way. And the cool thing is the employees started to use it the same way. So they sent videos and pictures where they are like hiking up a mountain, or like, so they shared funny things over this. Yeah. What I can really say, the employees are more motivated to work than ever before. So all of the employees are looking so forward to start their work again after the lockdown. You can't imagine. And therefore it's also the right time to we did a workshop, explained all of the hotels together, all of the employees together, how every part of the hotel works. So if the guests ask the breakfast lady how the restaurant works, she knows how the restaurant works. And it gives them a lot of insight in all of the processes, and makes them feel safe. And I must really say, I'm happy with really happy with our employees, and I see the attitude in the better than ever right now. Really, it's amazing. Yeah. And,
so Matthias, you're saying that any contact, face-to-face contact you have, whenever the staff is walking around, they always have the shield on.
Exactly. So also between the staff. So for example, the service staff goes back in the kitchen to talk about something with the chefs. They need to wear the face shield, definitely. Yeah. And it's something, so we gave the employees something to sign with the working contracts, that they need to care about those regulations, so they need to take them serious.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So your guests, they do not need it, but you will always. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The only ones who don't have the shields are the ladies behind the reception glass.
Yeah, they already got it.
Yeah. They already got it.
So also you? In the
Me
hotel?
as well. Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
So Matthias, you would say this workshop in the beginning was essential to start, to really to have the team together on the same timeline and board? You think that was a good thing?
Definitely. It was really important to have also that feeling. We are one team. We are together. We are going together through all of this. Also, it was perfect at the, when all of the employees enter for this workshop, you have them placed already like 2 meters apart from everyone. So you always get in their mindset, hey, you need to still keep distance. We had a new start welcome package for all of our employees, where they had their face shields, they had a branded masks in there. My mom made disinfection soap by herself, and like some small gifts for the restart.
Oh, nice.
And it gave them a lot of motivation, and on the other side, a lot of security for themselves. So there's employees definitely who would instantly go without masks. Yeah. There's other employees who said by themselves, I will not work without masks. But also to see that exchange within the employees. So they when you just talk to one employee, says, yeah, why should I take a mask? And I explain him why and blah, blah, and say, but you need to take it. But if they hear the opinions from the other employees, I think it's really important, because they feel in this team, and they know each other. Okay, I know she's scared. That's why I'm being careful as well. So
yeah. So employee experience versus customer experience goes always together. This is one concept that cannot be successful without the other.
Yes.
Let's do a last round, being that we are 1 hour. It's 12 already. Very nice. I mean, it's like when you still have the feeling you could keep talking. If you would like to ask Matthias last questions, maybe regarding also fall and future perspectives. And
yes, I was just thinking about one thing that was a really practical. Now that people go more on your website to order, and you don't use the big platforms, in terms of prices, where do you get the best price, or do you always get the same price wherever you book?
Yes, we always have the same prices everywhere. But what we always did, when you book over a platform like b.com, you get just breakfast with the price. If you book direct at our website for the same price, you get 3/4 pension, so with dinner and everything.
Okay.
Added value.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I need to add. We were always really good in direct booking. So we, even the years before, we were always over 70% direct booking.
Oh.
But still it's increasing now more than ever, yeah. But I think it's, I don't know, for me, it's hard to say how it exactly, the communication is in other countries. But here you can see also our big media and TV stations. They, during the last months and weeks, they talked a lot about tourism as well, and gave customers which had never insight into hotel pricing, they gave them insight into this. And they communicated for the first time how much percentage hotels lose when getting booked over a platform. And you can see that it probably really influenced people to think about where they make their holiday and where exactly how to book their holiday. And the big advantage right now from your website is that you can, your website is your individual presentation platform. It's not a standardized lookup. And this is right now more important than ever for the customer. Before it shows just how professional your hotel is.
Yeah, and it has to have that platform character. Let's say, even if we have limited resources as one company, but the concept has to be that it has to be vivid and flowing and alive, and where people can get linked and engage. And
you won't get any insights on b.com what they do, that your breakfast or your stay is safe. You won't get it, and they can't standardize it. That's a chance, actually, a big chance in this business.
Big opportunity,
yeah, big opportunity. Yeah.
Very interesting. That's
I think what I would like is in one of these next sessions to get more deeper in the innovation of our business, because this is where we have to get as hoteliers, as business owners, and we are in the middle of it. So all these topics, let's say how we really work platform style websites, how we add up online marketing, how the communication will change with the guests, and so on and so forth. We will keep discussing this. Thank you very much. I enjoyed really a lot, and thank you, Matthias, for sharing all of these updates. And I know also we will keep talking. We will stay in touch. We will see what's the development also, William. Now also, for example, going into the season. Now next week we dive into the season, and we will see what's happening, and keep exchanging our insights.
Yes. A great initiative. It was my first time, Peggy, but I really enjoyed this. Thank you for inviting me.
Matthias, I really feel like coming and see your place. So you have managed to get through with your message. I mean, the feeling I have just by listening to you is that you take it seriously, but it's not a punishment.
No, what I liked is you did not only survive, but you seem to thrive.
Yeah.
So in that sense, you've seen it as an opportunity, not only to hang in there, but really turn it around and take it to your advantage as much as possible. So that's really been a great insight for me too. Yeah. Congratulations, you and your team and your family. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Like I'm really happy to share it, and
it was excellent.
Like I said, positive mindset is more important than ever right now, and use it to get this bad situation into a good situation.
Yes, this is what it is. So thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
We keep in touch.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you all.
Bye-bye.